50 years ago, that sound rang out on the deck of the Edmund Fitzgerald. But after November 10th, 1975, it would not be heard again for 20 years. Pooled above the surface of Lake Superior on July 4th, 1995, there is, perhaps, no greater symbol of the Fitzgerald than her bell, and no ritual more important in the preservation of her memory than the yearly bell-ringing ceremonies held on November 10th at Whitefish Point.
Maybe we could say the voice of this bell, when it rings 30 times every November the 10th, it's speaking for that crew. It's literally family members are coming in and ringing the bell for their lost loved one. But for that 30th ringing of the bell, that's for all those other sailors, passengers, mariners, people that have perished on the Great Lakes at the same time. So for us, it's a very important part of keeping that collective history alive.
It is difficult to talk about the Edmund Fitzgerald without mentioning Gordon Lightfoot and the role his song has played in preserving the Fitzgerald story.
I think that, there was so little that came out in the media that all we knew about the ship happened in the song. It's his words. His words did it.
Even today, mention the Fitzgerald and many will be able to recite parts of its story through Lightfoot's lyrics. But historians will tell you the Fitz's historical significance goes beyond the wreck itself. Stonehouse says when the Edmund Fitzgerald came out in 1958 from the Great Lakes Engineering Works shipyard, she was considered to be the finest vessel on the Great Lakes. She was also the biggest on the lakes when unveiled, along with her sister ship, the Arthur B. Homer.
She was a ship that people wanted to sail on if they had the opportunity.
Lynn says the Fitzgerald set a cargo record on its maiden voyage in 1958.
It was meant to be a fast ship. It was designed to be a cargo record-breaking ship, and it exactly was that.
Loaded with 26,000 long tons of taconite pellets on November 9th, the Fitzgerald was destined for Zug Island in Detroit. She was joined by the Arthur M. Anderson, who fell in behind the Fitzgerald.
They're watching the weather. They're talking about it back and forth. They decide eventually, to take the northern track, which hugs the Canadian shoreline. With the winds that would be coming out of the northwest, they would get a little bit of cover from being that close to the Canadian shoreline, so they wouldn't get beat up so much.
Despite the Fitzgerald's reputation, and as Lightfoot called them, a crew and captain well-seasoned, she could not overcome Lake Superior. We know the Fitzgerald and its 29-man crew would never arrive at its destination, but there is much we don't know. No distress signal was ever received, and to this day, there is no consensus about the wreck's cause. The uniqueness of the Fitzgerald and the unknown surrounding its demise may be part of why it's so well preserved in the memory of those who were here to experience it. Lynn has shadowy recollections from his childhood of the night the Fitzgerald sunk.
I do remember being in the living room of our house and my parents talking about it. A ship had gone down on Lake Superior, which for us kids, that was pretty hard to imagine, because we would look out and we'd see the ships in the locks and the enormity just blew you away.
Stonehouse still remembers Superior's churning waters that day.
I was living in Marquette at the time, and when I heard about the Edmund Fitzgerald, the possible loss of an oil carrier, I went down to Marquette Harbor and looked at the water that was just pouring over the breakwaters. I'd never seen anything like that, or quite a storm with the same ferocity that the Fitzgerald storm had.